How you doing? We've got John Wilson on from the Ulster People's Forum. He's going to give us a quick question answer just now. Let's just hope you can hear everything all right. I'm using a couple of different methods of doing this tonight. But first of all, how you doing, John? All right?
Not so bad yourself, Chris?
So, mate. So. A bit fed up with all the problems over by, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it eventually.
Hopefully, eventually. That's what we're all working for.
That is it, mate. But obviously, from the people in Scotland, right, we've been looking on from afar at this with shock and disbelief the injustice shown upon the fellow community in Northern Ireland in the past few months or even years, starting with the arrests that have been made. What are the Ulster People's Forum doing to try and aid or assist these innocent men and women who are now finding themselves in a horrible position due to the state of political policing within Northern Ireland?
Well, to date, the Ulster People's Forum has worked hard with a company called Beyond Walls to create a set of 10 objectives that we're working towards. Two of those is political policing and also prisoners. So what we've been doing, the first thing we need to do is address the prisoner issue. Because people are getting lifted off the streets, taken away from their families and their friends, and there's cases where there's been big old children. The fathers haven't been able to go and see them due to the restrictive bail conditions being put onto them. So we've been arranging fundraisers all across the province, and to date we've actually given out over £3,000 to help those with that have been arrested, people in remand, and also with fines. Giving them some money out towards helping pay the fines after they've been dealt with through the courts. But especially looking after the ones at the moment that are in really hardship, where they've either lost their jobs or lost any way of income.
Well, £3,000 raised so far. I mean, that's quite good. Bearing in mind, obviously, where everybody's short for cash at the moment. So I mean, £3,000 to help towards the community's families. That's an achievement in itself. But no, it's we're literally just standing here, we're sitting here and we're watching it, and we obviously feel for every single one of you, because it's bad here in Scotland and it's going to get worse. But right now, we're looking at what is a case of a breach of human rights towards the whole Protestant community within Northern Ireland, and it's true. I know a lot of people say it, but it's true. It's a breach of everybody's human rights.
There's more human rights being stripped every day from the PLU community over here. To the point of as you said earlier there, that protesters have now been told that their protest is being deemed illegal outside a police station, a perfectly peaceful, lawful protest, and it's been deemed illegal. Now that's, the Ulster People's Forum is working with human rights groups, looking at these conditions to see what is illegal, and looking at, we've requested information from the PNSI to make sure, for freedom of information, to see how they're treating the protest by our community as opposed to the nationalist community.
Yeah. Well, I'll fire another question on at you here, right?
Okay.
When it comes to the politics within Northern Ireland, this is just this is a personal question for myself as well. Where does the Ulster People's Forum stand? Do you back a certain party? Do you back a single politician? Because believe it or not, you'll probably already know, you guys have got quite a lot of swing within the community. And it's not because it's forced upon them. People want to follow you guys for the simple reason that you know what you're talking about. You're standing up for a just cause, and a cause that's close to everybody's heart. So the reason I ask what party you follow, if you do, or a single politician, a lot of people might actually kind of look into it, and they might actually get some sense of direction, because I know for a fact a lot of people do not vote. So the more we talk about politics and the more we guide people, it might actually bring them round to actually using their vote for a change.
That's where the Ulster People's Forum sees itself. It doesn't see itself as a political party. It doesn't follow any particular one political party as such. But what it's looking to do is to get the political parties to work for the people.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of people out there now saying DUP has souls down the road, but within the DUP, there is good people.
Yeah.
The likes of Ruth Patterson, who's come out, stands at the protest, has went to different protest events, stood up and spoke as a personal person, as not as part of the DUP.
Yeah.
The UUP, Michael Copeland's office in East Belfast, there is doing a great job. The PUP is out there doing a great job as well.
Yeah.
So it's not a big fall. It's not big fall on one political party. It's been putting pressure on those parties for them to work for us.
Yeah.
Every time we started pulling the strings instead of them saying, right, we're just filling our pockets, give us money.
Yeah.
It's time for us to turn around and say, right, you work for us, not us working for you.
That's right. It comes back to that old saying where we employ you to do something which is true, because we all pay into this big tax pot where they get their wages from. So in fairness, we do actually employ them, and because we employ them, we have the right to actually have some swing in what they do.
And we've also worked with other different different parties within the community, setting up voting workshops, getting people registered to vote, making sure people have got their identification to vote.
I seen that. That was excellent.
Then come closer towards election times, we start working out which of the people or who the people is going to work the best for the communities, and then getting people to vote. Instead of this old adage of DUP coming out, going vote DUP 1, 2, 3, or you'll have Sinn Féin as the First Minister.
Yeah.
You might as well have Sinn Féin as the First Minister at the minute, because he's got as much say as Peter Robinson has.
Yeah.
So it's making sure people, getting people taught how to maximise their unionist vote, so we've got the right people in the right places.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But I'll go back on to a wee bit more in depth on the next question. Back to the heavy-handed police or policing. On the whole corrupt and unjust system, what are the Ulster People's Forum doing in regards to the corruption and the unjust justice system that's been imposed on the community? Is this something that you're trying to tackle or perhaps address?
It is. We've actually got a meeting set up on Wednesday night, which we're inviting along people who've been arrested or families of people who've been arrested due to the draconian bail conditions. Some of them aren't allowed out even after 5 o'clock at night. Some of them have to be in conditions back in 3 o'clock at night. So either themselves or members of their family to come along, highlight these, get them all fully documented, and then get it all put into the media. We've contacted a couple of different media outlets to help release this story, get it out into the public domain, as well as working with human rights groups to see where the breaches of human rights are, human and civil rights, and tackle those head on. It's over the last couple of months, we've been working in the background trying to get things done.
Yeah,
we've also got a human and civil rights march coming up on the 5th of July in Belfast as well, as part of the Sydney Memorial Parade as well.
That'd be good.
Highlighting that now it's not just something that the Ulster People's Forum's doing by themselves. It's there's a coalition of all sort of loudest groups within Northern Ireland at the minute have come together because the issues are getting so bad. We thought we're all fighting in the same directions instead of trying to maybe fight off against each other.
That's that.
All work together. We've all got the end goals always the same, but how each group's going to get there may slightly differ. So all the groups working together to try and help everybody is the way to go forward.
That's it, John. Brilliant. But then you touched on families there, right? So, in families, it's something that goes by unnoticed by so many. When these men and women are wrongfully arrested and charged or released on bail, then, as far as I'm aware, many employers that I know of, they most would suspend or even go as far as sacking that employee for getting arrested or getting themselves mixed up in this and that, even though they were wrongfully arrested, but they can still lose their job or at least get suspended without pay. Now, this must be having a huge effect on the lives of a lot of Protestant families out there when it comes to paying bills and providing and the likes of that. So I take it the money that you are kind of raising, that's what that's going towards. It's going towards helping these men and women out because they're now finding themselves in hardship due to these trumped up charges, this state of political policing, etc., etc.
there is. Whenever we first set up the first fundraiser, back a couple of months ago there, and due to the number of names we had, that's what we sort of set the money up, to go into each envelope at that stage. So we just kept it a level par. And what we also have done is, when we know that there's an email address set up that people can actually write into, and to let us know the details of the people who've been arrested, because unfortunately we're not mind readers and we can't find every single person that's been arrested, so we rely on people coming to us with the details.
Yeah.
We make sure they get an envelope out to start with, and whether that's helping people to buy, as you say, buy electric, even get a cup of tea or coffee or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But then there's also special cases, with people have, due to what's happened or has been put into remand and the benefits have been stopped, and then they have to put a new claim in, and it may take a lot longer for it to get through. This helps people out in those cases.
Yeah.
There's an instance of somebody who's lost their total income because their business was closed down. The tools for their business were taken away from them as well. So, with getting money to them. There's been families where, as I said earlier, especially one with a few weeks old child's been left, without the dad being able to get to it, and he was the main source of income. We've got money for them to help them as well. We wish we had an awful lot more money to help a lot more people out, in further ways, but we do with what we've got. We try and make the most of it.
Yeah. I mean, it must even be hard for you guys, because you've got your goal, you've got your inclination to help everybody, but as it stands, it's very tight on funds. I think everybody's feeling it just now. But then the big one is pennies do make pounds. Every pound helps. Every 50 pence helps. So it's obviously a wee point that can hopefully. I mean, marching season as well. With marching season coming up, hopefully. I don't know if you guys have thought about it, about kind of using the marching season to your advantage. By you've got the community out there, perhaps try and get maybe 50 pences a pounds. They'll mount up.
They do. It's not something. It's something that the committee will look at and see if they can go down that angle.
Yeah. So
as I say, we've got with the marching season. Say that the Memorial Parade and the protest march, basically on the 5th of July, in Sydenham. That's going to we'll be using that event. Plus, that's been graciously by the Sydenham Memorial Group there that has allowed us to sort of join in with that, and then also after there's a do as well after to try and raise funds as well.
So obviously, in order for the Ulster People's Forum to keep helping the poor families that have obviously, as a consequence to this state of political policing, you'll surely need to keep the funds coming in. And we have obviously touched on it, how you are planning on getting the funds to stay in, to keep them coming in from the community. But then, is there anything anyone else can do to help, even as far as Scotland, which is where Regimental Blues are kind of based? It's what I'm trying to say is there anything anybody, if they're wanting and they're willing, a single person in Scotland, can they still help you? Is there any means you've got set up? Is there any means anybody within the Protestant loyalist community in Scotland, if they got the ability to help you? Is there PayPals? Is there websites?
We have a PayPal set up. The PayPal address is UPF Prisoner Fund, should I say, at gmail.com. You don't even need to have a PayPal account. You can go onto the PayPal site, and where it says send money to, just type in UPF Prisoner Fund at gmail.com and send it across. But just making sure you take it